And welcome back to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. By the end of our game, half the field of 16 will have played. This is night one of this 2018 Little League World Series as we get set for a showdown between the Southwest, Houston, Texas, and the New England region. The winners from Coventry, Rhode Island.
There's a place where a fantasy is relived once every turn around the sun.
My name is Jim. My name is Anthony Cook.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
Renewing hopes, dreams, and memories.
There's the ball game. That's it. It's all over. The biggest upset in the history of Little League.
Hit deep for Frazier to left. He's done it again.
Of proud moments and history made.
It's been an incredible journey. We're one of the best teams in the world.
It's over. Complete game for Monet Davis.
This is the greatest show.
And Rhode Island is going to win it on a walk-off hit.
It's always a year in the making and always worth the wait.
My goodness, that one left the bat in a hurry.
The 72nd Little League World Series starts now.
And welcome to ESPN's continuing coverage of this Little League World Series. It's presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, and tonight from Williamsport, it'll be Texas and Rhode Island as each team plays its first game. The Little League World Series, take a look at the division at a glance. It's all part of the Little League International. 16 teams, a modified double elimination tournament. You got to lose twice. Ages 9 to 13, 6-inning games, 2/3 the conventional field size. Baselines are 60 feet. And the mound is 46 feet away. If you have a uniform and you're healthy, you're going to get into a Little League World Series game. We've had 2 played already, and what a wild one. Lasted 9 innings. South Korea rallied in the 6th inning. They hadn't had a hit. They got 2, scored 2 runs, tied it up, and 1 in the 9th. And the game we saw here at Lamini, Gregory Bruno came on in relief. He'll be eligible to pitch again when they play on Sunday. New York beat Iowa by a score of 5-2. And home runs are going to be hard to come by unless you're Oscar Hyde. Exit stage right, first home run of the Little League World Series. And Australia is currently leading its game by a score of 2-1. That's being played on Volunteers Stadium field. So tonight, Texas, Rhode Island, and tomorrow the other 8 teams scheduled to play. We'll begin our coverage at 2 o'clock Eastern time when Spain takes on Japan. A true World Series, that game on ESPN. Alongside David Ross, we'll get his thoughts on Rhode Island in just a bit. Save the best for last. But Mendoza, Jessica, she knows a good party, so she's crashed this bad boy. And she's not leaving. She's going to enjoy this. I know you have in the past. When you look at this team from Houston, the coaches will tell you they are looking at this like it's a business trip. We're here to win the whole thing, and we might have the best player in the whole tournament.
Ravi, it's so fun when day one you can build a superstar, and that kid is Ryan Salvaggi for Houston. And you think about how good he is. This team's got a lot of stars, but he's head and shoulders above the rest. You look at just the way he swings the bat. He'll pick up the ball. He's their power pitcher. No one throws harder than him on this team. 8 Ks in 4 innings pitch. That was in the regional. And they talk about him being a celebrity back in Houston. And that's a team you think about that's got the Astros in town with Jose Altuve, George Springer, a lot of stars. But Ryan Salvaggi, look out.
They got a chance to meet those stars. And for more on that, as they wear the colors that were worn by the Houston Astros back in the 70s, here's Julie Foudy.
That's right, Carl. Imagine the excitement when you know you've made it to Williamsport. And then you get the call, hey, do you want to come hang with the World Series champions themselves in their hometown? They got to hang with them. They got to get autographs, selfies. They got to go to batting practice with them. And then at the end, Alex Bregman even tweeted at them, post oak to Williamsport. Congrats, guys. Keep doing your thing. I said, how was it? And they said, in one word, awesome.
Astros are all into this stuff. Bregman feels like he could have played in the Little League World Series last year. Craig Biggio was there as well, the Hall of Famer. All right, speaking of celebrities, Rossi, this is a Rhode Island team that literally in their semifinal game trailed by 5 runs in the 6th and won. Then they got a huge home run from Jake Mather in the final.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talk about a guy that steps up at the big moments, a guy like Jake Mather. We talked to his coach, and this guy shines. This guy tied in the 5th, go-ahead home run to get them here, brought them all the way back. He pitches, he plays 3rd in the 3-hole for them. It's his only extra base hit in that regional. Big-time home run for him. And guess what? It's his 13th birthday today.
Yes!
Give a shout-out and give a little birthday song. You listen in. Listen to the team. Perfect. perfect. He loves it.
So embarrassed.
It's embarrassing. But the only home run Rhode Island did in the regional. Let's get set. The Rainbow of Texas and Rhode Island when we come back with the first pitch.
The only thing that says small town America more than Main Street, Mom, and apple pie is a parade like this one, the annual Grand Slam Parade that welcomes the world to Williamsport and the Little League World Series.
ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, proud supporter of Little League and all youth sports, and in part by Gatorade Thirst Quencher, the proven sports fuel, and Infinity, empower the drive.
Take a look at some of the older photos. Of course, Williamsport has been the home since 1947. We've been playing Little League World Series. Gets bigger and better every season. We got big new video scoreboards out there in left field. Got one down at Volunteer as well as we get set for Houston, Texas, who are all together right there in the dugout before the game starts against Coventry, Rhode Island. Houston, Texas, World Series champions, fourth most populated city in the United States with over 2 million calling it home. Lance Berkman, George Bush Sr. That's only done alphabetically because I'm sure even Lance Berkman would defer to the former president, George Bush Sr. All right, this team is ready for business. Let's meet them.
My name is Charlie Wiley, and my favorite player is Jose Altuve.
My name is Ethan Goldstein, and my favorite baseball player is Carlos Correa.
My name is George Kugel. My favorite baseball player is Garrett Cole.
I'm Carter Pitts, and my favorite baseball player is Alex Bregman.
My name is Paris Paschaponte, and my favorite player is Alex Bregman.
My name is Caleb Rook, and my favorite player is Alex Bregman.
My name is Andy Guy, and my favorite baseball player is Alex Bregman.
I'm Matthew Hedrick, and my favorite player is Goose Gossage.
My name is Cade West, and my favorite player is Alex Bregman.
Hi, my name is Richie Klosek, and my favorite player is Manny Ramirez.
Hi, my name is Ryan Savaji, and my favorite baseball player is Cody Bellinger.
I'm Andrew Stover, and my favorite player is Alex Bregman.
My name is Justin Michaelis, and my favorite player is Mike Trout.
All right, a lot of love for Alex Bregman. How about the outlier, Goose Gossage?
Bring it back.
And a Manny Ramirez in there, too.
No doubt. David Rook is the manager of this team. His son plays shortstop. He'll lead things off. That's Caleb Rook. Post Oak Little League, 14-0, and they have averaged 10 runs per game. So, T-squared Tommy Turner on the mound for Rhode Island, a 13-year-old. Nickname is Burger, not spelled like the hamburger, just Burger. And the first pitch of tonight's game in there for a strike to Caleb Rook. Rook's 13 himself, 5'5", 106. Good off speed, and Turner ahead 0-2. There you have it. Tommy Turner on fire early.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. That was quick. Tommy Turner coming out throwing cheese. Coach calls him the golden arm. We went fastball, breaking ball, and then here you go. Here's four-seam middle. Maybe a little two-seam spin on that. I mean, that was just right down the middle. Here we come.
You could see the look on Caleb's face halfway through the swing.
And here's the challenge, the one we talked about, Ryan Salvaggi. He was outstanding in the regionals, hit .500, and he blasted 2 home runs. Top pitch on the corner and behind 0-2 with a mixture of off speed and fastball.
If that's not Giancarlo Stanton, I don't know who is. Look at the kind of staggered stance.
Closed.
Yeah.
Did he go? No, that's a ball.
He's like, whew, thank goodness that call went my way.
I love how we can hear every sound too.
Yep. Inside, and the count goes 2-2. Ryan's 13, 6-footer, 105 pounds. He's watched Little League World Series every year that he can remember. Good pitch, he's gone. Quickly 2 strikeouts.
Tommy Turner just painting. Clearly they wanted to go all away to Ryan, the big hitter, and they get him looking for that last strikeout.
I love how fast they work, Jess. He's just coming out, throwing strikes, pounding the strike zone. And you see there, these Texas hitters seem a little off balance.
Popped up. Ryan Klosik back in left field. Logan Lama under it, and he makes the play. Very efficient inning. Only 9 pitches were thrown by Tommy Turner. Good start for Rhode Island. We'll see them come to the plate when we come back to Williamsport and the World Series. Second, behind Tyler Simon, 0-0, bottom of the first. Right on the Connecticut border of Rhode Island is where we find Coventry. And you take a look at it, 20 miles southwest of Providence, with a population of 35,000, home of Nathaniel Greene, the general in the Revolutionary War. Number 2 man behind the big fella, George Washington. Let's meet the kids.
My name is Tyler Simon, and my favorite baseball player is Mookie Betts.
My name is Will Owens, and my favorite baseball player is Mookie Betts. My name is Noah McFarland, my favorite baseball player is J.J. Hardy.
My name is Dylan Morrell, and my favorite baseball player is Mookie Betts.
Hi, I'm Aiden Wilkins, and my favorite baseball player is Xander Bogaerts.
My name is Anthony Colucci, and my favorite baseball player is Christian Vasquez.
My name is Tommy Turner, and my favorite baseball player is Mike Trout.
My name is Sammy Fuentes, and my favorite baseball player is Derek Jeter.
My name is Nolan LaPerche, and my favorite baseball player is Andrew Benintendi.
My name is Paulie Manfredo, and my favorite baseball player is Mike Trout.
My name is Logan Lama, and my favorite baseball player is JD Martinez.
My name is Cody Fretz, and my favorite baseball player is Bryce Harper.
My name is Jake Mather, and my favorite baseball player is Derek Jeter.
Rhode Island generally reserved for Red Sox fans, but a Jeter shout out.
Couple of them.
Lou Simon's the manager of this team. Tyler Simon, his son, the shortstop, and he played a terrific semi and regional final back up in Bristol, Connecticut. Everything hit to him. He was a vacuum out there. We decided to call him Hoover because he was so good at short.
He's got an absolute cannon. Threw one across in warm-ups. It wasn't even near yet, and the first baseman missed it. He's got a gun.
So Salvalgi is probably the best pitcher for this team from Houston, but they go with Carter Pitts in the opener. And we may have had a weather issue because all of a sudden the teams have been taken off the field. That's the only thing I can think of which would have led to a decision like that. If there is a lightning issue within 8 miles, they immediately take the kids off the field. And that appears to be what happened.
I knew I wasn't going to get to work with Jess. I knew it wasn't going to last.
Inning, bud.
We got a half inning again. You got to be kidding me. Oh, darn it.
Yeah, that's thinking of lightning. That first top half of the first flew by, and now all of a sudden, weather within an 8-mile radius. There doesn't appear to be anything imminent right here, but they certainly take caution and put it as the priority with regards to these kids. You got 11 full days to get the World Series in, and there's plenty of built-in time for things like delays and rain. There is more rain in the forecast tomorrow, but you can kind of take a look at it. And that red circle is the bullseye. And if anything gets within that red circle, we got problems. The scary stuff may be even further down on the screen to the left around Hollidaysburg and Altoona, Pennsylvania, with all that yellow. Let's keep our fingers crossed that this moves north and gets out of that red circle, but we are in a weather delay, and you can kind of see that's a great shot.
There's some rain.
There's some rain right there. That is a burst of rain that's falling, not obviously here, but in the distance at Lamade Stadium. So Little League has brought the kids in. We will stay here, and we'll hopefully get the game started again with Rhode Island ready to come to bat for the first time in Williamsport.
Would be excited to meet the big leaguers and their heroes. This is something they will never forget.
All 16 teams have gathered here to see a big league game. And Bell cranks one. First pitch gone. A diving catch.
That was the Little League Classic highlights from last year, and that was just a small snippet of the highlights because the day started early and it went through the Sunday night baseball game. It was outstanding, and we probably have a similar situation unfolding this season. That's where the game will be played, Sunday night baseball, historic Bowman Field. And what a terrific job Major League Baseball did last year to get that thing in Major League ready shape, and they put on a show. All right, Little League, big dreamers for sure. Frazier will be back here. He was here in 1998, 20 years ago, when Tom's River won it all. Michael Conforto, part of a huge 2004 year.
Great picture.
Cute picture. And Scott Kingery, who, of course, plays Philadelphia Phillies. So those three guys will come back to a place they shined as Little League participants and made it all the way to a World Series. But Frazier's probably the headline guy. Of course, he won the Home Run Derby a couple years ago. He was the star of that team. We all know about Derek Jeter and the picture we got to take with him at Yankee Stadium. Let's take a look back and to the present. Todd Frazier, Tom's River Little League, and now a New York Met.
What's up, boys?
What's up, man?
Hey.
What's up, Todd?
Got my pen book with me.
You all right? What's going on?
Good
to see you, bro. Good to see you, man.
You feeling okay?
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
I'm getting better, man.
Yeah. We don't want to take you from your rehab, you know?
No, we're good. How's everything going?
Whoever wins this one is going on to meet a Japan team which is flying high going into Saturday's championship game.
Greenville, North Carolina.
That was the longest game, right?
No, that was the first one.
That was Michigan. They were the team that had all the chatter.
Yeah, the whole time.
I mean, they were cocky. The good thing about Greenville is they had that kid Hodges.
Yes.
Kevin Hodges
Yes.
was the stud.
As a starting pitcher, he's been sensational.
He was lined up to face us in the USA Championship, and they're like, no, we're going to save him for the World Series.
Really?
And they gave us their second arm.
Big mistake.
Ripped to center field, and goodbye! Downtown goes Frazier!
Scotty just mowed him
Oh,
up.
man.
Yeah.
Scott Fisher,
Yeah.
he was nasty.
Scott was
That
lights
curveball.
out.
He threw like,
Well, I think
The
that was
nastiest curveball.
He
The
threw like-
12-year-old. I've never
threw
seen anything like it.
Scott Fisher strikes out the side, looking pretty sharp here.
Didn't we win 5-2?
5-2, yeah, the
go
USA
on,
final.
To go on to the World
and you made
Series.
the final catch.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, he made the
you wanna know
diving catch.
something?
He didn't have to dive, though.
listen.
He didn't have to dive.
Hey,
That was routine.
Come on, no, what's going on? Call him out. This guy always dove for no reason.
Always. He was the only one I remember practicing diving.
Little pop-up into short center field. Johansson coming on. Tom's River, New Jersey wins the national championship.
Why go catch it easy when you can make it
He
fun to
dove
go
it,
dive
caught it
for
in
it?
his
You know?
mouth.
On national TV, too.
And I'm trying to steal the ball from him because I want the darn ball so I can keep it in a keepsake. And it was like glue in his hands.
There's an awesome picture that I have. I think it's in my dad's office, and
Me and
it's
you.
on. It's the whole pile, and it's me and Todd like face to face,
fight for the
like
ball.
grabbing the ball. And it's like you're like, what are you guys saying to each other? You guys like congratulating, like you're happy for each other, saying good job. We're like,
give me that
no,
ball.
give me that damn ball.
All Little League roads lead to South Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and our World Series final.
That final game was the most exciting game I've been a part of. I'm going to call my coach out on this. I remember, like, it was either practice before when we're hitting in the cages, you explained to us, hey, if you can get a peek on the catcher back there, you know, do you remember telling that to us?
Yeah. Well, hey.
He said, and I'm back there looking, I'm like, all right, hold on. All right, no, this way, no, that way. I remember Palmer called me out on TV.
Yeah, they called you out on the telecast.
Before the pitch, he looks where the catcher moves. He sees the move in because he moves early.
I look back, and I remember the catcher kind of gave me a weird look, too, and I hit the home run. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, I guess.
My motto, you ain't cheating, you ain't winning.
Yeah, there you go.
Cheating, you ain't winning, right?
Hey, I remember
take this away. Todd, this is all I got.
Yeah.
If they take this championship away from us.
Hit deep for Frazier to left field. He's done it again.
I'm like, all right, hopefully that relaxes everybody. I mean, that's not at the time. I'm like, oh, I'm hyped up.
You had a nice. You pretty much did that almost every game. You put us up to a nice lead with first pitch or two.
I just remember being relaxed in that game, and I remember that being the last game, being like, well, this is it. I mean, if you don't enjoy this game, there's no point in even being here.
Deep again. Clear down. His second homer. New Jersey leads it.
I do remember Casey being on second, And after the fact, Casey coming up to me and saying, did you get my signs? Because he was giving me signs from second base. And I said, no. I said, I was completely oblivious to it. He goes, well, it worked out good.
I coached a team of cheaters, huh?
Did you hit any homers during that season before then?
No.
So that was his first 2 homers.
First 2 homers.
Couldn't pick a good right time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm talking
Time
about.
is everything.
And here is Todd Frazier. Now he can close it down.
Oh, man, I was nervous because I had to face those 3 and 4 batters again.
Yeah.
I said, just get him
struck out the big guy.
It was such a good time, man. With the lucky breaks we had, and that's baseball in a nutshell, but we had some lucky breaks.
Absolutely.
When we had the parade home, I'm like, oh my God. I think everybody from Tom's River, if they weren't in Tom's River,
It was crazy.
They were at that
We
parade.
were joking. I remember joking on the bus ride back. We're like, they're putting us on a fire truck?
My favorite part after winning the Little League World Series, I think we meet Alec Baldwin. We went to the White House, met Al Gore.
But we were supposed to meet Clinton.
Yeah.
And Clinton had a funeral.
King Hussein, the King of Jordan died.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And I was bummed. I wanted to meet.
I did. Yeah,
we were supposed to meet Bill.
Yeah, because he's a charismatic guy, you know. But Al Gore was awesome.
Join the Yankees in welcoming the 1998 Little League World Series champion.
Who were you next to out there?
Bernie Williams. Yeah, I remember Bernie asked if I wanted to race. He was like, let's race out there. I was like, all right. So I took off thinking I had a little speed. And he was letting me win. I got some distance, and all of a sudden, just a white flash went by me, and he just flew right by me.
How about you?
Tim Raines.
The Rock. Awesome.
That was probably one of my favorite experiences.
Me, Gabe Gardner, and Joey were with Chuck Knobloch, Luis Soho, and then Jeter. So it was cool. They had some good work.
They were so cool.
That's why I love this time of year because we did it. We've been there, and it's like 20 years now, so it's going to be a good time. It's awesome.
Calls it one of the greatest days of his life, Todd Frazier, and that run was unbelievable. And to his buddy's point, he carried them through the whole thing. He was ridiculous.
I didn't realize he closed that game. I actually asked Todd last year what he said to Jeter when he got out there as a little kid, and he said he went up to him and he said congrats. And then afterward he was like, why did I say congrats? Like, he didn't do anything, but that's what everyone had kept telling me, and I was so nervous. So he said he went up to Jeter, turned up to him and said congratulations.
I can't believe it's been 20 years. Like, I remember watching that at home, and 20 years has went by like that. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
Why do you think something like that, you played youth baseball, why do you think something like that resonates for somebody that has done so much after that? Why that moment?
Because it's so pure and organic. Like, it's just, it's like your childhood buddies. It's the dudes that after a game you go back to and spend the night at their everybody's at, you know, Billy's house, and we're all up all night in a sleeping bag in the living room, you know, and your mom's telling you to go to bed and you're playing Fortnite at 3 in the morning, you know what I mean? Like, just that's why it's so organic, because you lived and did everything with that group of guys, and you practice, but it's not just baseball.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
Uh-oh.
19.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
88.
Which one?
Where are you?
I'm the one with a
Can you
nice
tell?
butt here on the right. That's me. Look at that.
Face? Is that your game face?
The mullet. Yeah, that's me on the right. That's my game face. I'm kind of biting the lower lip. Like, here we go.
Really intimidating.
Yeah, and these are my Troy Green on the left. Oh my gosh, that's
a little.
Oh yeah, the hat, like the bill. You don't even pull it down. You know, when you're little, you wear it way up here. Oh, that's so bad.
You still give us that?
Game
Still
face?
do that?
Oh,
no. Who is that?
Oh, no. See, we had the visors that really...
What is going on with your visor?
Hello, sponsored by Advanced Turf. We know that.
Oh,
I think I had like 4 teeth, too.
Yeah, I was about to say, we've got some teeth action missing there.
Oh, man. Those days,
a non-action shot.
That's great.
You didn't want to see my game face at that age.
Oh, that's a good memory.
All right, we'll take a time out. By the way, Frazier and his Mets today, did you see what the Mets did today?
No.
24-4. They beat the Phillies. 3 Philly pitchers, 3 of them gave up 7 runs or more, and Jose Bautista had 7 RBI.
They used everybody yesterday.
That's right. They did use
no
everybody
one left.
yesterday. 24 big ones for the Mets and Frazier. And we'll be back in a rain delay at the Little League World Series.
Hi. but moments can be captured on film. Freezing time, allowing our minds to wander back, remember, and marvel at the magic of this event, which remains as powerful today as it was back in the day. And the backdrop is baseball.
Foundation of why Williamsport is a destination for Little Leaguers and baseball fans. Doesn't matter what age you are, you get a chance to come here and see this place in person. You'll never forget it. You'll want to keep coming back. Many of these kids actually who are here this year take opportunities to come and just watch, especially if you're on a team that you believe may have a chance to get there. You want to get a little feel, a little taste for it. A lot of those kids from Staten Island, about half of them were here last year watching that event, and they knew they had a real chance to get back here, and today they showed why they're a legitimate threat to win the United States bracket. They took on a really good team from Iowa, and they were actually down in this one, which is something they haven't been in 2 years. They got things started with a single. It went past the center fielder, ended up on third. Wild pitch brought in the first run of the game, and it felt like at that point New York was off and running, but Iowa showed they were tough. This is John Calabrese, who sends one into right field. Watch the pressure New York put on them, David. That was one of their secrets to success all day.
The base running did everything for them. It put pressure on the defense. They made plays. They forced errors by the Iowa team. And then after that, it was game over once he stepped on the mound.
They brought Gregory Bruno in. He walked in a run, and then after that, all he did was strike dudes out. He kept his pitch count below 50, which will allow he or Steve Martinez, who started the game, to pitch on Sunday. And that's the time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, when they will next be on the field. They will get the winner of this one, Texas, Rhode Island. And then our games tomorrow scheduled to be played, although there is a lot of rain in the forecast. Idaho and the team from Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan, Georgia, and Hawaii. So yeah, New York came here. We saw them run through the regional. They're now 27-0, I believe, as a Little League team. What did you see from them and from the Iowa team that leads you to have optimism for both going forward?
Well, I like their at-bats. I thought like the key players stepped up. Martinez and Bruno did what they were supposed to do. But I just like the aggressiveness. We saw a little bit of adversity that they hadn't faced in a while. They overcame, you know, being down for the first time in 2 years was a big deal. The coach handled that great, went out and told them to slow down, just focus, control what you can control, and it played out exactly the way they expected it to.
I love aggressiveness early because I feel like every team, first time they get on this field, they're going to be nervous. And I think the more you can test the defense, where it's going first to third, being able to do the things that honestly base running comes so easy, sometimes playing catch doesn't. So seeing New York take advantage of that, I think a lot of teams should do that. You know,
that may be a way that you win Little League games this tournament, because the new bat has changed everything. I think there's been about 78 more home runs hit last year than there have been this year. And if you're going to be aggressive and force the team perhaps to make some mistakes, that may be how you end up winning versus waiting for a 3-run home run. They're going to be very rare, I think.
Well, there's a couple of times I saw Iowa did not be as aggressive as they maybe could have been on the base paths, and New York was, and it kind of was the difference in the game. I mean, Bruno flat out gave up a walk and gave up the run and was really frustrated, but then he got it right back with a ball in the dirt, and he busts to third, forces the catcher to throw, makes an error, and they take the lead.
I mean, I love it too, the lack of home runs. We've only seen one so far, of course, only 3 games, but I think about just, to your point, Ravi, I mean, forcing teams to get hits, to be able to run the bases, do all the things instead of just the one hit, and I love hitting. But when it's just one, the scores of runs, I love to see the game being played in every way. So the fact that the bats are more like wood bats now, I think could be a good thing.
And understand, I mean, first game, you generally see the other team's best pitchers. So the first games are often dominated by pitching. But no question, the numbers are significantly down when it comes to home runs this season compared to last season. A lot of people argue it's a better game. Others, we'll see. The delay started at 7:16, so the kids are as anxious as we are to get it going. They have not put the tarp on the field. We're going to be optimistic and look at that as a positive sign. Yeah, I like that. Let's come back. Let's play. Field, weather. Lightning strike within an 8-mile radius. There's been no announcement about when they're going to return, but we're hoping, with our fingers crossed, that will happen. this weather pales in comparison to some of the weather that some of these countries have had to deal with. As you take a look at the international pool, which goes as far away as, heck, the Gold Coast of Australia. Imagine that trip. And Japan. Closer to home, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Panama, and Canada. There's also Seoul, South Korea, and I mentioned Japan. You think about Puerto Rico, you certainly understand the devastation they had to deal with. This team from Guayama, Puerto Rico, home to the parents of Alex Cora and Edwin Rosario. They know what it's like to deal with that and how important baseball can be in the recovery.
Con todas esas sus vicisitudes, no me faltan a la práctica, siempre son puntuales. Las vicisitudes no impidieron que ellos siguieran jugando a lo que les gustaba y pues papá Dios premia a esas personas.
Cuando pasó todo, ¿qué ustedes pensaron que pasaría con el parque? Cuando vieron el parque, ¿pensaron que iban a poder jugar este año?
Por lo menos este no estaba tan destrozado. Hubo otros que quedaron destruidos por completo. Después del paso de María, no pensé que los parques iban a estar tan bien como este ahora mismo.
¿Cuánta alegría le da a ustedes venir al parque? A ti, por ejemplo, cuando tú vienes al parque.
A mí un montón, porque en mi casa tengo mi PlayStation, pero es bien aburrido. Me gusta venir a practicar, estar con mis amigos, saber que están bien y que nada malo les pasó durante su día. Y es ready, venir a practicar con mis amigos me hacen reír mucho.
Bueno, les habla Eddie Rosario. Les quiero dar un saludito a mis muchachos de C12 que van para Williamsport a representarnos allá de Puerto Rico. Bien orgulloso primeramente de ustedes, del pueblo de Guayama, como la han respaldado. Y bueno, yo salí de ahí, de esa liga. Desde los 5 años estoy jugando en la Little League. Hasta que pude llegar al draft a los 18 años. Bien contento y orgulloso de la pequeña liga de Puerto Rico y más de Guayama, de mi pueblo, que muy orgulloso y contento de saber de que mi sueño está ahí establecido para ellos y contento de verlo a ellos representar a mi pueblo.
Radames Lopez Little League from Guayama, Puerto Rico.
We also had a chance to go to Puerto Rico to do that Major League Baseball game, and as the island recovers, you really do get a feel for how important baseball is. Forget just the Major League level and all the superstars they have, but to see those kids from Little League, that is, in many of those towns, the fabric that keeps it all together.
Well, you could feel it. I mean, do you hear kids say, I'd rather not play my PlayStation and get out in the field and be with my friends? Baseball is what brings happiness to me. And ultimately, like, that is what I love about that feature. And honestly, everything that they've been through, you could feel it.
Well, and they're not even talking about the luxury stadiums. They're like, I don't care as long as it's not destroyed.
The backstop's
look at this
fallen,
place.
but we're good.
Right, yeah, we're like, whatever. Like, we'll make up the bases. The coaches, you could tell how much they love them. Didn't have a problem with getting them out there. They were always on time. They loved the game, wanted to work hard. I mean, that's what baseball is all about, and especially setting that example for the others on the island and trying to get back to a normal life. I mean, it's got to be difficult, so kudos to them, and being here has got to be a special, special trip.
And with this team from Houston here, Carlos Correa, I mean, just think about it, and you guys both know this, the contributions that were made by so many Major League Baseball players, former and current, to helping with this recovery from the devastation. And it's one thing to see the pictures of it. It's another thing to fly over the island and see so many of the roofs still covered with tarps, even today. So these Little Leaguers, and I would imagine that their personality, their optimism, their enthusiasm does help, especially the adults who probably have a better perspective on how desperate things really are, kind of lift their spirits a little bit.
Well, even last year we were talking to a couple of the players, and especially in the World Series, like they were saying how how much the island was glued to the TV and had something to root for, whether it was the Houston devastations or the devastations in Puerto Rico. It gives you something to watch. The same goes for here, and what this team is bringing here, just something else for that island to root for as they continue to rebuild.
And they are still recovering. And I love the message from Eddie Rosario. I mean, just the fact that we've seen Alex Bregman reach out to this Houston team, but also just so many of the international players. And when we get the big league players here on Sunday, it's so cool to see them gravitate towards these guys, because really they're their heroes. There's a lot of times you think these little league kids are excited to see the big leaguers. The big leaguers get here and they're so pumped for these guys out in the field.
All right, we are glass half full people, and as a result, good news. We should be playing baseball within the next 5 minutes as the team from the West, Hawaii, gets set for their first game tomorrow. Back to Williamsport right after this.
The place where a fantasy is relived once every turn around the sun.
My name is Jim Hick. My name is Anthony Cook.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
Renewing hopes, dreams, and memories.
That's it, it's all over. The biggest upset in the history of Little League.
Hit deep for Frazier.
Of proud moments and history made.
It's been an incredible journey. We're one of the best teams in the world.
It's over. A complete game for Monet Davis. This is the greatest show. And Rhode Island is going to win it on a walk-off hit.
It's always a year in the making and always worth the wait.
My goodness, that one left the bat in a hurry.
The 72nd Little League World Series starts now.
It does. It continues. We've already had 3 outs, real quick outs, with Tommy Turner on the mound as our Little League World Series coverage is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. With David Ross, Jessica Mendoza, I'm Carl Ravitch. Supposed to start at 7, and we played top half of the first inning. It was really quick, and now we're beginning the bottom half of the first inning with Rhode Island coming to the plate for the first time. You see South Korea beat Puerto Rico today. Crazy game. South Korea hadn't gotten a hit until the 6th inning. They were trailing 2-zip. They picked up 2 hits, 2 runs, and then they played the 7th and the 8th. And finally in the 9th, pushed 2 more across to win. New York beat Iowa 5-2. New York trailed in that game. The team from Staten Island, the Mid-Island Little Leaguers, were down for the first time in 2 years. It was just a couple of days ago. We were in Bristol, and Joe Calabrese said, you know, we haven't trailed yet. I think he regrets saying it because today was the first, but they came back and won. All right, our buddy Julie Foudy's been down on the field. What's up?
I've been doing some investigative reporting on the Texas side. This is their first rain delay all summer. They said, the coach asked them if they had any clean jokes they could tell. Sadly, there were none. I was like, you should have let me in. I would have been there all day giving you jokes. On the Rhode Island side, also their first rain delay all summer. He said, we were trying to do something impossible. Keep 12-year-olds patient.
Right.
I said, I know that. That is impossible.
It's impossible.
They're happy to be back out there.
Especially with all this excitement going on. Just chill out. Just sit. Relax. We'll be fine.
Right.
Stable, I would say. Boys of summer. Good kids. Just relax.
I want to hear Julie's clean jokes later. She's got a
I'll give them to you right now, Jess, if you want them.
Give us
all right,
one.
real quick. What do you call a deer with no ice?
A deer with no ice?
No eyes.
Oh.
No ice. What?
No idea. You got no idea.
Wow.
I'm here all 10 days, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Julie found.
I'm
She went
here
to
all week.
Stanford, folks.
Thank goodness baseball starting back.
These kids are asked to send in their favorite jokes, which we'll share later. Tyler Simon. Feels like we just did this like 30 minutes ago. We were at this moment. They pulled everybody off the field. And now the first pitch he looks at from Carter Pitts is in there for a strike. Choking way up on the bat. Looks at one go by him in the dirt.
I love the high hand setup. Choked up. Going to hit down on the ball. Get that launch angle. Little League World Series.
Well, Rhode Island knows a thing or two about rain delays. Of course, on Saturday in Bristol, they were waiting. Championship game was delayed twice, and then it was pushed all the way to Sunday. So unlike Houston, they've dealt with rain delays. The 1-2 off-speed pitch and a good one. Simon retired on a strikeout.
Nice breaking ball here from Pitts. You see here, it sets it up with the fastball, the pitch before he fouls off. And that is a nasty breaking ball. Starts middle of the plate. Falls off for Chase. Nice pitch.
Here's Tommy Turner. He's the pitcher, struck out 2 in the top of the first. He had a big hit in the regional semifinal against New Hampshire. On the ground, hard to short. Good hop for the shortstop, Rook, and he throws him out.
I had a little chat with Carter Pitts, the pitcher down below before the game, and I was asking him if he's nervous starting pitcher first game, like how you feeling. He's like, the guys have been giving me a hard time, don't be nervous. He's like, but you should see my breaking ball, it's like legit good. And this is what I love about these kids. I mean, I'm asking about his nerves, and he's telling me about that pitch right there. He's like, no, check out my breaking ball. Like, you work for ESPN, like, you're going to want to see this. It's like, you're good.
You do Sunday night, but you've never seen this one. Yeah. I love, like, all your teammates, and when things get the most stressful, they all goes, don't get nervous, don't get nervous. Like, wait a minute, stop making me think about getting nervous.
2-0 to Jake Mather. If you weren't with us at the top, this was the guy that hit the home run that really put Rhode Island into the Little League World Series. They were tied 2-2, and in the 5th inning launched a home run to left, helped them win the New England Region Championship over Massachusetts. That one's hard up the middle, fielded, and a long throw from the second baseman, but Charlie Wiley couldn't get enough on it, and Mather is aboard with an infield hit.
Nice little chopper there up the middle to get him started. First hit of the game for the Rhode Island crew.
And now batting Logan Lama. He plays left field for them. He also pitches for them. And you could argue he was as big as anybody on that team, given that they were down 5-0 in the regional semifinal. He came up with a huge 2 RBI triple after looking not very good on the 2 swings prior. He had 2 strikes on him when he finally launched one. And this one gets by and down to second base. Into scoring position goes Mather.
Carl, we talked about the bats, and another detail that we haven't talked about is that the catching position. That's going to be an important position in this tournament, of just not giving up that extra base with probably the home runs cut almost in half.
Pretty good power to the outfield. There's a breaking ball, and he was watching it go by in there for a strike.
That's that breaking ball you were talking about, Jess. That thing is pretty good. Flips it in there with a 2-0 count. Or 1-0, excuse me.
Into the ground, slipping, throwing to first, throwing into right field, and here comes Mather to score the first run of the game. It had just rained, and Carter Pitts' feet went out from underneath him, perhaps with some wet grass.
Carter Pitts, he gets a great jump, but he slips, as you mentioned, Ravi, just trying to get the throw off, but you're doing it lying on the ground. One of the hardest things to do, especially trying to do it quick. Throws it away. First run scored.
That was almost a great play. Just a little too high. Thought we were going to have our first web gym of the game.
Good? I know, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Hey, awesome.
Now you got to turn that negative energy into positive energy. Tough play, and we're only in the bottom of the first inning. Well, the Texas team that has averaged about 10 runs a game. Here's Cody Fretz. He's the first baseman with Logan Lama down there at first base. Apparently what's being asked now by the manager of Texas, David Rook, is whether the ball struck the bat twice. So we'll see, and you'll get a good look at it. No, definitely not. And depending on the angle, perhaps you're looking at it, he may have thought it did, and you're trying also to prevent a run from scoring, but it didn't come close to hitting the bat twice.
That wasn't even close.
No, not close.
Oh, maybe just kind of killing the energy vibe for the New England team. Good strategy. Bold strategy,
Hey,
Cotton.
1 run's not winning this game, all right? Head up.
That's the more relevant point.
Maybe from his angle, just kind of.
It was an awkward swing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's kind of a weird cut-off swing, half swing. I'm sure everybody's nervous this time, right? First game, coaches. If I was coaching a team, you take them all the way through and you bring them here. It's amazing how they keep themselves calm in these moments.
Set for Cody Fretz, the 12-year-old, 5'4", 161. Big hockey player. A lot of these kids from Rhode Island, multi-sport athletes. Same with Texas as well, multi-sport athletes. All right, boys, let's get the train on the tracks here and get it moving. We're a little fits and starts with the rain delay and the replay and the timeouts with 2 down. First pitch fouled into the net.
How about Carter Pitts after the error? Slipping, getting back right on there. First pitch strike.
Yeah, good poise about him on the mound for sure. I love what the coach said about Cody Fretz. This boy can eat.
End of the bat, Pitts catches that one, and that is an out. So he fires the ball down. His offense is going to try to lift him up. Cleanup hitter is coming up when we come back to Williamsport. And Julie Foudy, I'm Carl Ravitch. The Southwest region made up of these states: Oklahoma, Colorado. Texas has 2, East and West, Mississippi, Arkansas, Colorado. And we take a look at these state champions. Congratulations, Whitehall, Arkansas. So difficult to get through your districts, and then you get into your sectionals, and then you win your state tournament. Lake Charles, Louisiana. We've seen a lot of teams from Louisiana make it to Williamsport, just short this year. Meadville, Mississippi, state champion from Mississippi. Out of New Mexico, the team from Carlsbad. Congratulations on a fantastic summer of Little League baseball. Tulsa, Oklahoma, home of the Drillers. The Little League team wins the state championship, and Brownsville, Texas, also a state champion. Congratulations, boys and coaches, and of course the team that made it out of the Post Oak Little League, which is just outside of Houston. 62 years young, that Little League, and this is their first trip to Williamsport. Justin Michaels' first pitch swing after a 9-pitch first inning. Here's Tommy Turner again, hitting ahead quickly. Michaels goes a little Lance Berkman, lays that bat on the shoulder. And now 0-2.
Secret nickname for Justin is Bill, B-H-I-L, best hitter in the league. That's awesome.
He's been called Babe Ruth. He's got a lot of nicknames.
I like that.
Pretty decent.
Too.
What's up, Bill?
What's up, Bill?
That's it. Bill with an H.
B with an, yeah, B-H.
I-L. Nope. Watch your lips.
This Post Oak Little League team won the Texas East State Championship, the 10 and under group. fouls that one back. And Houston has had great success at the Little League World Series. They've won 2 titles. They did it back in 1950.
A little bit. Yeah.
And then again in 1966.
Keep.
Whew, close one. Turner pumped that one in there, and now chance for the leadoff hitter here in the second, Michaels, to get on base.
And remember, we had that top of the first inning, and Tommy Turner, you mentioned dealing. Then we had the rain delay. It's been a while since Turner's been out there on the mound.
Back up the middle, diving underneath the body of Tyler Simon. He may not have had to dive.
Williamsport, kid.
And Michaels is on board.
That's the kind of coach I want. I get to first base and he says, welcome to Williamsport, kid. Stays on here, great at bat. Just putting it in play. I mean, not trying to do too much with it. Shortens up his stroke, just kind of a half swing. Nice try here from Tyler Simon. A little bit over dives it.
So Michaels will head to the bench. Special pinch runner George Kugel, number 5, is into the game. And look at the bench greet. Michaels. Or Bill, as he's now known. First base runner, and here's Andy Guy. Popped up. Catcher, pitcher, catcher is there to make the play. How about Anthony Colucci? He was on that real quick, Rossi.
That was nice from Anthony. I was just thinking the hardest one for me is the short pop-up going out towards the plate. I mean, out towards the pitcher's mound, away from the plate. Really tough for a catcher. The spin is going away from you. Does a great job of getting under it, almost getting far enough in front of it where it's coming to you. You see here, reads it well, calls it, doesn't even have time to take off his mask. Nice play there for Anthony.
And now Carter Pitts, the opposing pitcher, didn't swing at it. It's called a strike. .55, 104. 12-year-old. And he was able to go to one of those Astros World Series games that they won. What a World Series that was. Astros and the Dodgers last season. And Carter Pitts lucky enough to be able to see one in person.
Especially some of those games in Houston. Those were amazing.
That whole series until Game 7.
1 and 2.
I feel like I've seen more pitchers pitching in day one than I've seen all of last year. Pretty impressive.
Now set up out. High.
Well, and just him coming in the pitch prior, you saw Carter Pitts try to cheat a little bit. That front foot, get a little ahead of it because he thought if he's coming in, I'll step in the bucket a little. But then he goes back away.
Nice block.
So Carter Pitts cites Reagan Buckle, who is his strength and conditioning coach, as one of the secrets to his success. Strike 3, thought he was being walked, but he and several other members of the team have a strength and conditioning coach.
Do you have one of those when you were 12?
I got no comment on that. That's a two-seamer coming back. That's a nice pitch. I have no idea what the strength and conditioning coach is all about, but that's a nasty two-seamer there from Tommy Turner.
Well, Reagan
Tommy Hunter pitches for the Phillies.
Not far from here, but not here. They'll be here on Sunday.
They'll be here soon.
They'll be here soon. Now Matthew Hedrick, the right fielder, with 2 down and a special pinch runner on first. Good swing at it, and he fouls it out of play. Corner, and he picks up strikeout number 4. Tommy Turner looking good. Rhode Island's got a 1-0 lead, and we have 6, 7, and 8 due up when we come back. Get into that mud and go. Woo!
Stop by Dick's Sporting Goods shop outside of the Volunteer Stadium.
You take a look at the upper right-hand part of that screen, the United States, broken down into those regions, and we'll focus on the New England region, where, of course, this team from Coventry, Rhode Island comes from. They've had great success. Of course, our friend Dave Belisle took 2 Cumberland, Rhode Island teams to Williamsport. Once again, Fairfield, Connecticut advance all the way to Bristol. They came up a little short this time around, but since 2010, Fairfield has represented Connecticut 7 times. 7. Saco, Maine, congratulations to them. This was the team a lot of people figured was going to end up being here in Williamsport. A very good Pittsfield, Massachusetts team. Goffstown, New Hampshire played themselves a terrific summer of baseball and did so again in Bristol, just to come up a little short. Kids from South Burlington, Vermont, the state champions of Vermont. And of course, these guys from Coventry, Rhode Island, a very quaint town in Rhode Island, that plays a good brand of baseball as well. They got a good crowd on hand for this one. Their first game at this 2018 Little League World Series. Will Owens leads things off. First pitch in there for a strike. We did see David Rook grab Carter Pitts when he came off the mound and gave him another one of those keep your head up pep talks. Ooh.
Hold the ball, guys. Let's go. Good job.
After that swing, he started yelling to his outfielders to move a little bit towards right field. Fouled at the plate, so he pushed the center fielder, Ethan Goldstein, towards right. Matthew Hedrick is not a lot of room between him and the foul line and right.
No, I think they're showing that swing and seeing how late he was on that fastball. Coaches positioned him well.
Here we go. On the corner, he gets the called strike and his second strikeout of the night for Carter Pitts.
Jess, you hit around the head. Carter Pitts, after that one mistake, tough error on the wet field, just has really settled down and really feels nice and looks nice and calm out there. Fastball away, that's paint there with 2 strikes.
Anthony Colucci, he's the catcher. Breaking ball started in the zone and broke all the way out of it.
Rossi, one of the things talked about this Texas team that they emphasize with their pitchers, that importance of location.
That one's foul.
Well,
over velocity.
Yeah, well, you know how important it is in baseball in general, but to have the ability to talk about that at such a young age and have the pitchers that can execute that, I think is such a great game plan that their coaching staff has come up with, and they put importance on that, and you can tell by the great success their pitching staff has had.
Behind you.
When it starts with a catcher, you see there again another example of them setting up inside and being able to execute that pitch way in. And you even touched on it earlier, when you get the hitter stepping in the bucket, they're going to lose the power, they're going to start looking in, more susceptible to the breaking ball away. Positioning the outfielders, the coach doing a great job reading the swings. Full baseball lesson here for Texas.
Looking for back-to-back strikeouts. The pitch to Colucci, he got it. And Colucci is retired. Hey, next door they've had 2 outstanding games. One went 9 innings. South Korea wins that one. Australia jumped out to an early lead in this one until Angel Martinez delivers a shot into right center field. Look at him pumping his fist, going to first. He knew what it meant, a walk-off. And he drives into, and Mexico rallies to take care of Australia over at Volunteer 3-2, the international side. South Korea and now Mexico, both into the winners brackets. They will play against each other on Sunday. Good game. Sammy Fuentes with 2 down. This one to left field. That's where we'll find Michaels. He can't get it. Fuentes is being waved now. He puts the brakes on. Good decision by the base runner. Sammy Fuentes with a double. just out of the reach of Justin Michaels, who was diving for it.
It's a hanging breaking ball right there, Jess. Nice piece of hitting by Sammy Fuentes in the gap. And Justin Michaelis can't get to it. Lays out just out of his reach. Great try.
Now the number 9 hitter, Dylan Moreo, who swings and misses.
Tell you what, Carson Pitts, about 80% strikes to this point right now. Just coming right at you. And I'll tell you what, as a hitter, you want that. I think it's hard when you got nerves. All these kids, this is their first at bat of the Little League World Series. But Pitts right now in attack mode coming right at him.
With 2 strikes. Breaking ball just misses.
That was a nice breaking ball there. A little more depth than the one that got hit in the gap.
Great effort out there in left field by Justin Michaelis. He just could not come up with it. And that's why we got a runner at second with 1-2 pitch on the way. Line right at the shortstop. And Caleb Brook played it cool and calm. Barely moved. Great job by Carter Pitts. Gives a high five to Sammy Fuentes on his way to the dugout. Dinner at the World Series thanks to Chick-fil-A. And while all these players may not share the same culture, language, experience, even taste in food, the dinner gave them all an opportunity to eat, enjoy each other's company, make new friends. That's why Chick-fil-A's team dinner is more than a meal. It's an opportunity to see how the others dance and act and play and joke. Games, activities gave the players a chance to get to know their fellow Little Leaguers before they hit the field. Chick-fil-A. All part of a special Williamsport experience for these kids. Back here, top 3. First pitch in there for a strike to Charlie Wiley. Both pitchers throwing a lot of strikes.
Usually you see the opposite. Like, pitcher takes the mound. I mean, even at the big leagues, big game, it's usually hard to find the strike zone. And doing anything when you got nerves, you're trying to breathe, basic stuff. But these kids, I'm telling you, being around the dugout pregame, I mean, they're not nervous.
Yeah, amazing on a stage like this. He's gone. That's a strikeout. And let's send it down to Jules.
All right, Carl, you might notice I have a little bling I've added. This is the baller chain. I found out from Texas that they give it to their 3 best ballers during the game. And they get to wear this for however long until the next game. And I said, what kind of stuff do? They wear it to school, they sleep in it. And they said, it's a chick magnet, of course.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Now, the baller chain usually works.
Clearly, you're wearing one.
That's all I needed.
That's a shot to the shortstop, Simon. He'll throw it and not be able to get Ethan Goldstein. The number 9 hitter delivers a single. So he's got a leg up now on the competition to get the baller chain with a hit.
Nice piece of hitting here. Jumps on that first pitch fastball. Nice play there, Tyler Simon. Just knocking it down. Can't quite put a glove on it and get it out fast enough. Nice hit and nice defense.
Let's see what the top of the order can do now. Second time through the order. Caleb Brook, he struck out. And, of course, Ryan Salvaggi is on deck. 9 straight strikes have been thrown by Tommy Turner.
Jess, I'm like you. Even though they're throwing hard, it's exciting to get in the box knowing the guy's going to be around the plate. If I'm hitting, I like it. I like it. Ready to hit.
You know you're ready to swing.
Chases a high one and a big strikeout for the second out of the inning. Both strikeouts. Catch all the excitement of the Little League World Series, including how to visit Williamsport, score stats, highlights, and more. Visit littleleague.org or follow along on social media with a hashtag LLWS. 6 Ks, 4 of them on 3 pitches. And tough one here with Ryan Salvaggi. Ooh, big hack at it.
Got him to strike out looking his last at bat, so no doubt first pitch he's coming in swinging. I didn't care where that pitch was. You could tell he's like, I'm
ready.
I'm not going down looking again.
strikes.
Ripped into right field, hit really hard, and it goes under the glove of the right fielder, Dylan Moreo. Around third and scoring is Goldstein, and Salvaggi's into third, and it is now tied 1-1.
You just talked about it, Jess. He got in there ready to hit. You could tell by his body language. He was excited, ready to get after it. Got down 0-2, just took him a minute to get his timing. Then takes that fastball away and drives it to right. Just gets under the glove of Dylan and all the way to third base. Run score, tie ball game.
That tells you how hard he hit it because how quick it got by Moreo.
Here he comes. Salvaggi will have a play. He is safe, and now Post Oak has gone up 2-1. Good speed from their best athlete, Ryan Salvaggi.
We've seen it for the second time today. The momentum kind of switches a little bit, and you get a wild pitch here or there, and the game has changed. That runner on third puts a lot of pressure on the pitcher and the catcher.
And a rare ball. He had thrown 14 consecutive strikes, and then that wild pitch which allowed the run to come in. You know, in center field there's a vehicle up there with red lights that are flashing, and the catcher Anthony Colucci said he's having a hard time seeing the pitch.
It's distracting.
Yeah,
I was just thinking that before the pitch.
Me.
Yeah, I looked up like, what's going on up there?
So apparently they've been made aware of it, and you assume shortly the vehicle will either move and the lights will go out. Base is empty for Richie Klosek. First pitch, good one in there for a strike. Just misses inside. That's rare in a city like Houston, where they have the Texans and of course the great players on that team, that you'd be a Patriots fan. A lot of times that's rooted in like who your dad or mom root for or where they came from.
Right.
Grandparents.
Right. Yep. That's my fault. I'm the Pats fan. Call, strike three, gets the high strike call, but a good inning. And that pep talk to Carter Pitts early. Hey, one's not going to win this game. That's clear. One's not going to win the game.
Go, 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 go! Get there, Ryan! Yeah, baby! Yeah!
Think the manager is into it?
Good job!
Think we're into it. That's what happens at the Little League World Series.
Have you ever smiled? Of course you have. We all do from time to time. But have you ever really smiled? Smiled so big you felt it deep in your bones. That sort of smile that reminds you that everything is exactly the way it should be at this exact moment. That smile that says nothing else matters right now. That moment when you just can't contain that feeling, and it's instantly written all over your face. Sometimes those smiles are accompanied by tears, but it's okay. It's a rare thing, this smile among smiles.
Little League would like to extend its appreciation to its official sponsors. New Era Chick-fil-A help maintain the strength and leadership of the Little League program. Little League also wants to thank the dedicated volunteers who make the program a special experience for the millions of children. Tyler Simon leads things off with Rhode Island now trailing for the first time tonight after a 2-spot put up by a team from Texas. 1-2-3 for Rhode Island. Back up the middle, fielded cleanly. Once again, he falls, but this time Carter Pitts is able to get back up to make the out. Oh boy. There's a smile. That's a Little League smile right there.
Nothing gets to him.
No.
I mean, he made the big error. He struck out looking his at bat, but he's been dealing strikes all game long. And then this one, another slip. Doesn't throw it away, takes his time, knows he has time, gets the out.
Tommy Turner in the dirt.
Said, let me stand up this time. let me, I got time.
Slow roll to third. Salvaggi, no problem.
Nice play.
All right, I got a special delivery I'm going to make, although it pangs me to have to take my baller chain off. Jess, I feel like you deserve this.
Oh, look, girl power.
My baller. Thank you for joining us tonight, Jess.
Yes.
Thanks for joining the party.
The women stick together. We see that.
It's kind of like a gold medal. And you know what? When I asked him, hey, why the chain? And John Klosik, he goes, I'm from Jersey. Is that perfect? I was like, yes.
Thanks, Val.
Go, Jess, go.
I love it. I love it. Don't be jealous, guys. Like, I know, like, I have the baller chain now, and that's just, like, I know, like, I feel it.
I'm down.
Like
I'm down on Julie. I'm down on you.
But
me and Carl had a good thing going the first game. And
Stanford, Olympians.
It's thick here with the Stanford stuff.
No doubt about it. A lot of that stuff going around. A 7-pitch inning.
I'm a baller.
Settles in.
I got a gold chain.
Yeah, you do. Back with the baller after this. The MLB Little Classic, the Little League Classic from Williamsport, features the Mets and the Phillies, historic Bowman Field. They did it last year. It was an enormous success. The Cardinals and Pirates put on quite a show. In fact, they received quite a show when they arrived here at Williamsport for the Little League World Series, and we'll hear from the players. They will join us starting around noon and then through the course of our afternoon, and then we'll bring you Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown. Special start time at 5 Eastern time, be on for 2 hours leading up to that game, which will be a terrific experience for everybody. The weather's supposed to be nice, at least as of right now. That's a big, big part of what will make that a special day. All right, left fielder Justin Michaelis leads things off, and he hits a shot up the middle. Go get him, Bill.
That's what they said, man. This guy rakes.
Don't call him Bill for nothing.
Bill with an H, best hitter in the league, the nickname. First pitch. All over it.
Head on the ball, line shot up the middle.
Look at him just pause a second, just watch it. Like, doesn't even get out of the box, just
the two-handed finish, too. I like it.
Good job, Justin Michaelis. He's aboard, and first pitch to Andy Guy, called a strike. Runs at a premium with the Little League World Series so far this season. We've seen but 1 home run, and we are more than 3.5 games into the tournament. Guy caught by the third baseman, throw to first. Oh, what a play by Jake Mather. A double play and a web gem.
That's how you turn a double play right there. Heads up play here from Jake Mather. Soft liner, fully extends, gathers himself, checks the runner, and throws a strike across the diamond. Nice play, Jake Mather. A lot of poise there. Made that look really, really easy. Never panicked, never rushed.
Stretch over there, too, at first base by Cody Fretz. And our first pinch hitter of the night, Cade West. There are 4 substitute players on this Post Oak Little League team from Houston. So West bats now for the first time. Jam shot, nobody's going to get it. The Cadesters, a 13-year-old, 5'5", 132 pounds. He is a pitcher and a catcher, and he just likes to wear the catcher's gear as he swings and misses at that. Did you fall in love with like the gear and the glove in the beginning?
I just was about to say, that's the first time I've ever heard that.
Someone say that.
I hated that stuff early on. I'm like, I'm so hot.
Bulky.
Yeah. Oh! Well, he looks nice and lean. I was a little more pudgy when I was a kid. A little more heavy set, and I got hot really fast, Jess. I did not like that stuff on me.
You had a sweet game face, though.
I did.
I got a glimpse of your Little League photo. biting the bottom lip.
Slammed into the ground. Shortstop Simon. Long throw. Good play as it got under the glove of Mather. But the left side of the infield comes up with a couple of good plays. Jake Mather double play.
There he is.
David Ross, show it off.
Game face.
Show it off.
Good pose.
That is what has transpired so far. As we take a look at our Honda game summary, along with Jessica Mendoza and David Ross, I'm Carl Ravitch here in the booth. Down on the field, Julie Foudy, or sometimes in the booth. Carter Pitts and Tommy Turner, both guys have pitched really well. 11 strikeouts combined. Turner's got 7, but Pitts now with a chance in the bottom half to add to his total. He'll face Lama, Fretz, and Owens due up. And first pitch late on that is Logan Lama. He reached on an error by Pitts. He was the one that bounced it back to him, and then he fell to his butt and couldn't throw him out. Breaking ball, good one, and Lama quickly behind 0-2.
Eats an omelet before each game.
How does that work here? Oh! You got to keep that going.
I think they said his mom.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Mom and Dad would come and bring him to the regionals. That's great.
That's some pressure, though. Omelet's not like easy.
That's not easy to whip
it's not
up.
like a hot dog.
Yeah, I don't know. Was Mom's carrying a little skillet in the back of the station wagon or something? Like, what we got going on?
Just stores them like for the year. And then once the season starts, she just starts cranking them out. Little microwave and omelet.
I got to grab him after the game. I got to know what's in that omelet, you know. Pre-game omelet. I'm down with that.
Interview Mom Kelly. Find out how that goes. On the corner. And this time Lama is retired. Let's go down to Jules.
I'm with Cody Fretz's mom, Kelly, who's been trying to avoid me all game. But I had to find out. Cody Fretz in the bio, if you read it, he makes this great goat noise. There's a goat in the dugout. What is it with these goats, Kelly?
It's not for greatest of all time. It is actually because he makes a mean goat noise.
Not for greatest of all time.
Not for greatest of all time.
And where did this come from?
His own imagination.
And don't forget the punchline, Kelly.
My husband promised him 2 live goats after we won regionals, so we'll have 2 goats when we go home.
2 live goats waiting for them when they go home.
Are they equipped for goats?
Yeah, are you equipped for goats? Carl wants to know.
I have the yard for goats and I have a shed, so we can make it work. We got chickens now. What's 2 more goats?
He's got a farm.
Yep.
That's a mom who's on board.
We have a lot of pets, so we're good.
Right.
We'll make it work.
She's going to make it work. 2 live goats coming to the house.
That's a great point. I'll say this, too, as we walk around the facility here. Mom's making it work. Like, that's what this whole thing is about. I mean, you got moms who are dragging kids around. The kids all want to go get food. They want to go to the museum.
Well, it's not just the kid that's playing. It's all the other kids.
That's what I mean. I mean, moms come here to Williamsport, and dads, too. I don't mean to dismiss the role the dad is playing, but, David, we saw a lot of moms who are doing yeoman's work.
Listen, that's where that phrase that mom's love comes from, right? Like, it's just unconditional. They're all about taking care of these boys, making them feel at home, getting them omelets when they need them. Like, whatever you need, mom's here for you. No, yeah, I'll run up to Chick-fil-A down the street and get 37 sandwiches for the team.
We'll take goats.
Yeah,
sure.
never will that be said by any mom I know. Sure, we'll take goats. Never.
You haven't met the Little League moms.
No kidding. Paulie Manfredo. Pitts stays upright. And a quick inning. We're through 4. Carter seems to be locked in. Texas got a 2-1 lead. 2 innings to go with the Little League World Series. By Dick's Sporting Goods. David Ross, Jessica Mendoza, Carl Ravitch, Julie Foudy. Having a great time. like you do every time you come to Williamsport for the Little League World Series. And we are underway. We will have all 8 teams that were scheduled to play on day 1 play. South Korea and Mexico will meet on Sunday. New York awaits the winner of this one. And tomorrow we do it all over again, starting at 2, 4, 6, 8. Ooh, we appreciate the Little Leaguers. That's tomorrow. Spain and Japan. And the bookend is Georgia and Hawaii.
It's rubbing off on your ab.
It is.
About to say, the softball cheers are coming out.
This is George Kugel. They have 3 substitute players to bat, and we'll likely see them all here in this inning. We're in the 5th inning. He's thrown 51 pitches. It's been a clinic by both these pitchers with regards to strikes, and both teams, you know, not the most patient hitters, which is great. You get a lot of action. A little high. 1 and 2. All right, this is good. Julie, who was the investigative reporter during the rain delay, has apparently uncovered the answer to the omelet question, which we'll get in a moment.
She's going to earn the baller necklace right back.
Yeah.
She's working, man. Working the moms. Getting all the jokes.
Yeah. Shortstop. Nice job staying down on that one. Tyler Simon as he throws it out. All right, let's find out all about Logan Lama and the omelet thing.
You ask, I deliver. I found Kelly, Logan Lama's mom. I said, Kelly, how do you make these omelets? They're dying to know. What do you put in them?
I actually don't make the omelets. His grandmother makes the omelets for him. She's got chickens at her house, and he's got fresh eggs from her house every day he wants them. Apparently, I can't make the omelets like his grandmother can, so it's all her. She's sitting up there in the stands, but she makes his omelets every day he wants them.
With fresh chicken eggs. Get that.
What?
What? And what happened when he was in Bristol?
In Bristol, he asked me to bring him an omelet, so I brought him an omelet from one of his favorite restaurants in Rhode Island. I brought it down to him the next morning. The game got rained out the next morning. Actually, he wanted another omelet, so his grandmother brought him down 2 hours from home and brought him an omelet for
goodness.
when he pissed.
You talk about moms. What about grandmas as well?
MVP.
Doing it all. Baller chain going to grandma.
No doubt. Grandma gets the baller chain tonight. So does Mather, who makes a heck of a play at third base. Good defense.
This is a great play by Jake Mather, keeping it in front, knocking it down, hot shot to his left, stays with it, doesn't panic, sets his feet and throws. Nice play, Jake. And I gotta go back to the grandma. We're shipping omelets all over the country. You know what I mean? Like
shipping them, and she drove 2 hours.
Jeez.
Let's get in the car.
Talk about commitment.
Well, and superstition.
The Llama family is all in. I know that.
There's a joke in there, isn't there, with llamas and chickens? Somewhere in there.
Julie,
let's ask Julie. Yeah, Julie,
She's a comedian.
Have you heard the one about the llama and the chicken?
Chicken and a llama walk into a restaurant.
Oh,
man.
This is Parish Fascia Ponte, and they will have all their substitutes get their at-bats here by the end of the top of the 5th. Can't stress how efficient this has been for both of these pitchers. 59 pitchers here, and Pitts has thrown only 47 going to the bottom of the 5th inning. That is incredibly impressive. It saves the staff from having to
drive the ball to that Little League World Series time. Let's go.
Get some other guys in the game. Turner has thrown 77% of his pitches for strikes.
Well, Carl, like you said, it's not just the fastball, it's the breaking ball too. It's been really impressive. It's extremely difficult to do.
Ouch, that's the glove. That's the interference. He took the glove of the catcher off, didn't he?
I believe so. I think that's going to be catcher's interference. I don't believe there's any other way that could have happened.
They'll discuss it. Won't be able to listen into what they say, but the glove came flying off.
Yeah, and it went forward, so he had to hit it.
Fascia Ponte will head down to first base on catcher's interference.
You see here just a little bit getting out in front. Catcher reaching for that high fastball. Luckily, it got a lot of the glove, not his hand. You can see the reaction here. Scares. Oh, great shot from up top there into the barrel, just a little bit late on that ball, and ends up getting that catcher's glove. Great shot from up top.
Telling you all year you can't crouch up too much, right? It's all right. Your hand okay? No problem. Didn't hurt your hand? No? You good? Hey, focus. I'm going to get this hitter, okay? It's a big spot right here. Bear down. Let's get this kid and get out of this inning, okay? I'm feeling good. Let's go.
Ethan Goldstein's gone as a special pinch runner. Check of the catcher Colucci and his hand, which is okay. But now you're back to the top of the order. He's had Caleb Brooks' number. He has struck him out twice. That's a very good hitter. Goldstein gets a quick jump there off first base. Don't be surprised if Colucci will take a throw down there to keep him close. Ball. This is an important at bat. You don't want to have to deal with Ryan Salvaggi, who's on deck with 2 runners on. Part of that meeting with Lou Simon. Want to get this guy, and that one is popped out of play for the first strike. Look out, 3-1. Now a real dangerous spot for Tommy Turner. Big pitch. Oh, that was close, and that may be a huge pitch for a walk.
Blue.
And now Ryan Salvaggi, the best player on this Post Oak Little League team.
Good job, bud. His other play was outside. Good job. Good job.
They're going to bring Jake Mather in.
Birthday boy.
On his 13th birthday. Good luck. Deal with this guy coming up. We'll be back to the Little League World Series after this. After a walk to Caleb Rook and a birthday celebration earlier, Jake Mather has to deal with Ryan Salvaggi. Biggest spot of this game. In a 2-1 game with 2 on. And he hacks at the first one and fouls it back. Speed misses from Mather. Ethan Goldstein came in as a special pinch runner after a catcher interference. He's at second base. Caleb Brooks at first. And the 1-1. Popped straight up. Tough play here. Colucci looking for it. No one's going to call it until the pitcher, Mather, sees it go into his glove. Wow.
That's a birthday catch if I've ever seen one.
That's a birthday present. Everybody was watching Colucci except for Mather, who was watching the baseball, which is a good thing. I got it. I got it. Can you help me? You take that.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, proud supporter of Little League and all youth sports. And in part by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
Really good game tonight. with the team from Houston, the team from Rhode Island. You want to play Little League in your local community? Visit playlittleleague.org and enter your address to find a Little League program near you. One of the great Little League stories this year, of course, the Mamie Johnson Little League out of Washington, D.C. Ward 7. They weren't even around a few years ago, and the first predominantly African-American team makes it all the way to the regional, winning their district title and their state championship, and it was a treat to see them. They got a chance then to go meet the Orioles. That was the team that Adam Jones contributed $8,500 to help them and their families make their way to Bristol. More and more great stories like that around the country as Aiden Wilkins pinch hits and fouls one off. 3 substitute players still to get their first at bat for this team from Rhode Island. And he's gone on the 50th pitch from Carter Pitts. And Carter Pitts still throws at about 78% strikes. He's reached that 50-pitch threshold, so he will need 2 calendar days of rest in order to come back, and it looks like they're going to make the change.
Let's go. He needs to warm up. Let's go.
And take Pitts out.
Yes. You're the third.
So what looks like a gathering of the Houston Astros from the 70s and 80s with their rainbow uniforms. They all disperse. Pitts heads to the infield, and the big fella, Ryan Salvaggi, is on. He'll try to close the door. Good spot for Houston right now. And John Butchergrass will have it. We'll have evaluations from Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady's preseason debuts. Much more on the Jets and Redskins. Reactions and analysis from Sam Darnold's second preseason game. And the Duke freshman R.J. Barrett getting a lesson in social media 101. And they've got to recap the Met outburst today. The 24 runs that mighty Met offense put on the board with Jose Bautista driving in 7. Broke a record. All right, Carter Pitts is out, 50 pitches, so he moves to third. If you haven't seen this guy pitch through the regionals, this is interesting. Ryan Salvaggi just rears back and slings it like that.
Wow. Carter Pitts, real quick, 50 pitches, 39 strikes, no 3-ball counts. That's efficient.
No 3-ball counts.
No
think about that.
On the ground, oh, just missed the bag, and for a second it looked like it might clip it. And Richie Klosick would have a hard time picking it up, but it avoids the bag. And Noah McParlin is retired. How'd you like to be up by a run and bring this guy in?
That's a pretty good feeling. And you can see here the coach has got the outfield shifting all the way to opposite field here, knowing that nobody gets the head out on Salvaggi.
Nolan LaPerche, last of the substitute players to hit. Top of the order is going to come to the plate for Rhode Island, if not in this inning, certainly in the bottom of the 6th.
They're shifting to tendencies, and then they're shifting to the tendencies of your pitcher, Jess. This is basically that. Everybody hits it to the opposite field.
Oh, see with the swing right there, late.
Equivalent of 96.
This is about as hard as we've seen anybody in the first day at the Little League World Series throw the baseball. See ya. 74 miles an hour from 46 feet away. Blink and it's by you. And Texas 3 outs away from winning their first game of this 2018 Little League World Series. Ryan Salvaggi, awfully impressive on the mound. Heading to the 6th, the last, with Jess and with Rossi. Back after this. The 2018 Little League World Series is underway. Night 1, and this game, when completed, will complete the first day of action. We saw in New York, and they did a really good job with their pitching. Martinez came out, and so did Gregory Bruno. They'll both be available on Sunday if that's the direction they choose to go in. And it looks like Texas is in a similar situation with Salvaggi on the mound and Pitts able to go on Sunday if that's what they want to do. Jake Mather's first pitch as Richie Klosick swings right through it for a strike. 3, 4, 5 due up for Post Oak Little League. Out of play. Seventh straight year we've had a team from Texas at the Little League World Series. Of course, Lufkin last year won the U.S. title. Only California with 48 and Pennsylvania 35 have more appearances than the state of Texas. 25 of those. And I mentioned earlier, both of their Little League World Series titles came from teams that were based in Houston. Interesting story about the way this team was put together.
Rich, hey, take your time. Hey, Richie.
They talked about how we built it really on attitude and 10-year-olds, not talent exclusively. They claim they cut a couple of kids that would most likely make a team because of their ability, but they didn't apparently have the right attitude to fit with the club. What do you make of that decision?
Oh, I love it. I mean, the fact that chemistry and camaraderie, I mean, overrides talent. I mean, and honestly, when it comes down to winning, a lot of times you don't hear that. You're going to take the kid that's a little selfish. It's all about themselves, but they can rake or they can pitch.
Especially over years where you're going to be together a lot. Chemistry is very important, and you can't have any guys that aren't on board on a team like that. That you're trying to do something special like this team has done. Richie's locked in. I've got a feeling he's going to do something, hit a ball hard right here. I'll stop talking.
That's why you're not wearing that. You just lost the necklace.
That's why Jets has the swag.
I was about to take the necklace off. He went yard right there.
Oh, man.
As our friend Tim Kirshen would say, good call.
The baller chain is not going to be around my neck anytime soon.
I'll hold on to it.
Thanks, Jess.
I'll keep it warm.
It's a safe place. Oh, man. Big
Justin Michaelis has had a really good night. He is 2 for 2. His last one, a line shot up the middle. And the nickname of the night belongs to this guy, Bill, B-H-I-L, for best hitter in league.
Nope, that's still you. That is awesome.
I mean, who comes up with, let's just call him Bill, but let's put an H in there. That's great.
That's some forward thinking.
So Logic keeps that arm under a towel. There's another one into the gap. And the best hitter in Williamsport heads to second base. Here's the throw. And he's in there standing up. 3 for 3. Justin Michaelis. What a night.
What a night for Bill. I mean, just throwing balls in the gap like it's nothing. Nice swing here, man. Just really stays on the ball. So connected. I love the double hand finish. You don't see that much. Almost that Japanese style finish where he stays on the ball, through it. Great swing.
Look out. Rushing back, Andy Guy. So Michaelis down there at second. You remember Mark Quinn, who played for the Royals?
I don't.
You don't know that name? Mark
right
Quinn,
away.
He played for the Royals. He's helped this team out with their hitting. And you can see in a guy like Michaelis and others that having a major leaguer contribute to that team does a great deal. Had 45 career home runs. He was also a star at Rice. Hit 2 home runs in his major league debut, did Quinn. Remember covering him, of course. Baseball tonight. Now, Michaelis at third. He's a big run, even with Salvaggi on the mound. You want to get that third. Time for Mather to grind it out a little bit. Play. And shallow into right. That's going to bring Michaelis in. And that's a big one. And now Texas got a 2-run lead. Clutch hit from Andy Guy.
Guy doing exactly what you want to do, man. At third, less than 2 outs. Let it get deep. Does a good job staying inside this ball and throwing it out in right field where nobody's positioned. Really nice piece of hitting, man, on third, letting that ball get deep and travel.
Next up, Carter Pitts.
Nice swing.
I love how aggressive we've seen both teams. I mean, we're talking first pitch right out of the get-go. Just taking hacks. And not always even at strikes. And I know in the game now, especially in the bigs, it's all about taking pitches and on base. But I like seeing kids being aggressive, too.
Good pitch in there for a strike. A lot of smiles in that Post Oak Little League dugout. Michaelis goes back in there and gets a big hug.
Pulled pork tacos. I like those too, buddy. I like some pulled pork tacos. Are we eating again?
I know, sorry. I was hungry.
Pitts chases that. He's retired for the second out. Forget, top of the order, due up for Rhode Island in the bottom of the 6th inning. So we'll see Mather, who hit that big home run in the regional final. Tommy Turner and Tyler Simon will lead things off against the flamethrower, Salvaggi.
Jess, I'm with you. It has a lot to do with the pitchers throwing strikes and pounding the zone, but it's a fun game to watch when these guys are swinging and you see strikes. It's really exciting.
Matthew Hedrick swings and misses at the first. He just goes straight steak.
Favorite steak.
The South Korean, his favorite food, meat. One of the South Korean players was like, I love it. Just any kind of meat.
That would be my son. He's just whatever.
Meat.
Whatever. Give it to me.
Well, Andy Guy down there at first with a clutch single after Michaelis' double. And that gives Texas that run of insurance in a 3-1 game in the last inning. On the corner, called strike 2. Home plate umpire Ryan Gibson's had a very good night tonight, too. When you're working with good pitchers, tend to get the benefit of the doubt around the plate. He's been solid. And here's your 2-2. In there for strike 3. All right, they get 1 run. It's 3-1. Rhode Island has only 2 hits, but 1, 2, and 3 are due up when we come back in the bottom of the 6th. They've done it before.
Hey, top of the order, guys. Hey, we need 2 runs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's put up 2. Let's put up 3 and go home. Let's go. Done it a bunch of times. Do it again, right? Let's go up there. Let's battle. Let's work hard. Quick bats with this kid. Sit on fastball. Drive the ball. Hits on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hits. Let's go. Gotta want it. Gotta want it. Good job, kid.
Words of advice from Lou Simon, the manager of this team. And we know they are watching this one down at the Woods Tavern Inn in West Greenwich. They help raise funds by donating 10% of their sales during some of the games as they've helped out, and they're rooting for a rally here tonight. And they have done it before in the regional semifinal. They trailed 5-0. And they rallied for 6 runs in the 6th. And then, of course, in that final in a 2-2 game, Mather hit a home run. This may be a little different story with that guy, Ryan Salvaggi, on the mound. First pitch, ball 1. Last 10 batters have been retired for this Rhode Island lineup.
Good eye with the coach's son. Just heard Lou Simon coming out of the break, pumping this team. Get on base. Well, we've seen a lot of swings for him.
That's a swing. Nope, 3-1 and a chance for the leadoff man to get on, which would bring the tying run to the plate. Wow, good start for Rhode Island and a rare walk. shifted the goat around. They've now put shades on.
Sunglasses on him.
And a hat.
Relic goat wears sunglasses at night.
Cap.
Tommy Turner, I tell you, if he happens to pull a ball into the left field corner, he could run forever. They got an enormous shift on. Left fielder Michaelis is shaded so far to center, you could argue he's a center fielder shaded to left. That one got by. Good read by Simon. He gets into scoring position at second base. Jake Mather, the birthday boy, on deck. On his fists, and it's now 1-2. That's a tough pitch.
Ryan's coming from such a funky angle, kind of stepping across his body. It's kind of three-quarter arm action. It's got to be really tough on right-handed hitters.
Late, but he spoils it. You know, it reminds me a little bit of, remember Matt Clement?
Yeah.
He would sling it. And it'd come from every which angle.
It's like a right-handed Chris Sale.
Yeah, that body type.
Slinging it.
Such a tough angle to hit when that pitcher steps right at you.
On the ground, hit hard, tough play. Good job at second base. How about it? Charlie Wiley, that ball had some top spin and it was hit hard, and he stayed right in front of it.
You felt it from the moment it was hit because you knew it was going to be the tough off, that this ball was going to end up on grass in the outfield. And Charlie Wiley not only does a good job keeping it, but the hands, get it into his bare hand, be able to throw it out. You felt like this was going to be an error the whole entire time. He stays cool, calm, collect, and gets the out in a big-time play for Texas.
Now Jake Mather. Breaking ball, strike one. Celebrating his 13th birthday today. Pours a fastball in at 73 miles an hour. Not only does he throw it hard, he doesn't let it go until it feels like he's 40 feet away, not 46. Gets him with a breaking ball, and Mather's gone. They're 1 out away from winning their first here in Williamsport.
That's just dirty, Rossi. I mean, he's throwing the ball hard. We talked about the angles he's throwing at. You got all arms, limbs coming at you. You're thinking fastball, and then this. The breaker.
So far out in front on that one.
Logan Lama, last chance for Rhode Island. Great job. How about Andy Guy back there?
That is textbook right there. Andy Guy's done that before. That was nice and easy.
Good one to have in your back pocket when you need it.
Just feel like Lou Brown over here. Forget the curveball, Ricky. Give him the heater.
Nice.
That is cheese.
Deep breath time for Logan Lama down to the final strike. Stays alive.
That was as late as you can get.
Yeah, that was out of
to
the
spoil that pitch.
Yeah, that was out of the catcher's mitt. Ooh, catcher hit him in the hand a little bit.
Right down the middle, another strikeout, and the game over. Ryan Salvaggi comes on in relief, and Texas, the Post Oak Little Leaguers, pick up win number 1. Great game from Carter Pitts and then Ryan Salvaggi. The Texas pitchers tonight threw 75 pitches, and 56 of them were for strikes. That is 75%. How about that?
Great pitching, great clean game. Couple timely hitting.
And a new superstar born in Bill.
Bill, no doubt. I can't wait to watch him play.
Justin Michaelis putting on a hitting show.
So we got our first 4 in, and New York and Texas will meet on Sunday. Rhode Island, Iowa on Saturday. South Korea and Mexico winners today, which means Puerto Rico and Australia will play on Saturday. We got a big day tomorrow starting at 2 with Spain and Japan. Please join us for all the Little League World Series action from Williamsport. For David Ross, Jessica Mendoza, Julie Foudy, I'm Carl Ravitch saying so long from Williamsport. It's the U.S. Open Series Tennis right now.